Good morning everyone, how are you all doing today? Well, it's another beautiful morning up here in Scotland. First things first, I want to clear something up about yesterday. When I was planning the route I used the OS maps on my laptop and it said that the route would be 15.2 miles. Now when I actually started the route I did follow it on the OS maps app on my phone, and by the time I'd finished it said I'd just done over 18 miles. Now I did do one or two little diversions, but only for a few yards, so a couple hundred yards, certainly not 3 miles. So it's actually cast a little seed of doubt in my mind as to the accuracy of OS maps. You'd think with it being OS maps it'd be very, very accurate. But has anyone else had a sort of anomaly like that using OS maps? If you had, put it in the comments below. I'd like to hear from you. Anyway, today's route, as you gathered, I'm not actually walking at the moment. There is a particular site I want to visit just outside Spean Bridge, and to get to it I've got to walk for about a mile alongside the A82, which is the main road that runs through this area, and as such there's a lot of traffic on there, so trying to do a video while walking alongside there it'll be near impossible. You could probably still hear the traffic noise in the background. I've just stepped away a few yards just to make this video. Once we've been to this site we then head back down into Gairlochie, and then we follow the banks of the Loch Lochy all the way to Laggan locks. Now on OS maps it says that I'm doing just over 16 miles today, but we'll see what that turns out to be. Now last night I obviously stayed at the Corglass guest house. Lovely place. The hosts there, really nice people, very welcoming. Lovely room, nice big bathroom, and a fantastic breakfast this morning. The only thing I didn't actually notice when I checked in, they don't have a TV in the room. It's no deal breaker or anything, but obviously if you do intend staying there you have to bring your own entertainment, download 1 or 2 films onto your phone or something like that. And then yesterday evening I went down into the village to the old railway bar and restaurant for some refreshments and sustenance. Again, it was lovely. It is only a very small bar and it does get very busy, so they're a bit limited on the beers that they sell, but I found something to my taste anyway. So off we go, I'll catch you in a little while. Just something I forgot to mention, the weather. As you can see I've got my jacket on again. There's a little nip in the air first thing in the morning, but they have forecast no rain and temperatures could get as high as 26 degrees. Wow, for Scotland. The only problem with that is at the moment there isn't a breath of wind, so the dreaded moz is going to make an appearance today. We shall see. So this is the site that I wanted to visit this morning. This is the Commando Memorial. There's a lot of connection between the Commandos and this area. And in 1942, I think it was, following on from the exploits at Dunkirk, Winston Churchill decided to form an elite fighting force to strike back at the Germans, and that's when the Commandos were formed. Now, they had their basic training base not far from here at a place called Achnacarry Castle, and what they used to do is they used to catch the train to Spean Bridge and then march the 7 miles from the castle, from the train station to the castle. Now they did come up the way I've come up, the main A82, and then from there they went down the B8004, which is the road that I came up from Gairlochie yesterday, and which I'll be going back down this morning. As you can see, there's some absolutely stunning views around here. And just over there is a little memorial garden where people come and leave memorials to friends and family who served in the Commandos. The actual statue itself, it was unveiled in 1952 by the late Queen Mother, and all 3 soldiers on there are facing the same direction. They're all facing towards Ben Nevis. I'm sure we'll come across some more connections with the Commandos as we go on today, because they used to do a hell of a lot of training all around this area. I'm just going into the memorial area now. I'm not going to say anything, I think it speaks for itself. Oh, we're just over 4 miles in now and got back down to Gairlochie. When I got up to the Commando Memorial, the jacket came off. As I said, in Spean Bridge there wasn't a breath of wind, but then you come back down into the Great Glen and that strong cooling breeze is back up, so I think the jacket might have to go back on. Anyway, I followed the route that the new recruit commandos used to take. Used to get off the train at Spean Bridge, march up the A82 and then turn left and down the B8004 back down here to Gairlochie. They'd then continue the journey onto Achnacarry Castle, but we're going to pick up the Great Glen Way again. There is actually an information board here, and it does show a photo of the new recruits marching across this swing bridge. As I say, they do allow camping here at Gairlochie, and those are some of the rules if you want to pause the video and take a look. This is the area that they allow you to camp at Gairlochie. It is only a very small area. There's only 6 pitches for 6 small tents. They do say, or the sign says, that if they're full then you've got to move on, and they only allow camping for people who are hiking, although I can see there's a couple of bikes up there next to that tent, so I presume they're bike packing. There's signs all around saying no camping there and no camping round here. And just across there, that brown building, I believe that's the toilet and shower block that you need a key for. Right, so once you come across the swing bridge, if you go through that gate there, that takes you to the camping area. However, it is not the route of the Great Glen Way. All you'll do is you come to a big tall padlocked gate. What you need to do when you come across the swing bridge is head right up that little road there, and that's the Great Glen Way. Yes, I did go the wrong way, but we're back on track now. Yeah, you come up that road out to Gairlochie for it's a climb of about 200 yards, not too bad, and then you'll hit this sign saying the Great Glen Way goes off to the left, onwards and upwards. Yeah, so you follow that path that I showed you, go through some woodlands for a little while, cross the road and take a path, and it brings you down onto the banks of Loch Lochy. We've got another old shipwreck. It was a fairly big boat actually, and from, I don't know if you can make it out, but from the white caps I can see on the loch, it does appear to be rather breezy. Now I've got my jacket off again now, because coming through that woodland you are totally protected from the breeze, and so it is getting quite warm. I've no doubt at some point the jacket will be back on again. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me because of the wind, but look at those waves. It's like being beside the seaside. But you don't often get views like this around the seaside. Absolutely stunning. And somewhere up there is Laggan Locks, where we're headed to. Still got a fair ways to go though. Yeah, we're about 8 miles into the walk. We're not far from a place called Bunnakeig, and I've come across this. I don't know if you can make this out too well. It's a bit of a concrete structure, and it was a practice landing craft for the commandos when they were training in this area. Yeah, the last mile or so we've come onto a single track road. We've been following this, some beautiful houses along the way, but we've been totally protected from the wind. I think we're on the wrong side of a hill, or on the right side of a hill I should say. It has got really warm now, but luckily there are a lot of trees and a lot of shade. And my brother will be pleased to know that even though we are protected from the wind here, I haven't seen one midge yet. But look at those views, absolutely stunning. Yeah, so we've done about a couple of miles on that single track road, and you come to a settlement called Clunes. Now you've got the sign there, we turn off to the right to do the Great Glen Way. And got another commemorative marker for the commandos. United we conquer. I think that's their motto. But it says they did a lot of landing craft training around this Clunes Bay area, and it says some of the things they had to do, or they had to go through. I don't know if you'll be able to make this out, but it says 7 miles under 70 minutes, followed by digging a defensive position. 9 miles in under 90 minutes followed by firing practice, 12 miles in under 130 minutes followed by a drill parade on the square, and 15 miles under 170 minutes followed by assault course and firing. Now it does say that when they were doing these practice landing craft things on the beach, they were under live fire. I wonder how many actually got hit. Anyway, we've got signs here. That top one says that Laggan's 8 miles. That one there says Laggan's 7 miles. And according to my OS maps, it should be 6 miles. So I've no idea how far we've got to go. So we've done about a couple of miles from that place called Clunes. It's all along the forestry track through Clunes Forest, and the good thing about that is we've got plenty of shade. However, we've now climbed up a steady climb out of the forest and it doesn't look like we're going to get any shade for a while. I have had to put some suntan cream on, believe it or not. But anyway, this is the view that greets you. That's where we're headed along. And look up there. Wow. I'm glad I haven't got to go up there. Yeah, I've got a friend who would absolutely love this in his back garden. Don't know how he'd get it there though. I'm not sure he'd like this one in his back garden though. It says, "Don't be a bear, poo in there." And you've got one of those toilets, I believe. Yeah, that bear we came to, that's about 4.5 miles after you've left Clunes. It's all along forestry track, so it's easy going. But the bear signifies, it looks like it's a very popular wild camping site. There were a couple of tents set up down there and quite a group of people milling about, so I didn't want to disturb them. And it's got one of those, I presume it's one of those toilets that you need a key for. Anyway, just a little bit further on, we've come to our first diversion. The reason for this is apparently there's going to be there's a proposed hydro pumping station built around here, and it's the first one for 30 years, I believe. However, they have provided a diversionary route, and apparently it's only a short diversion, so we'll see about that. So, Mr. OS Maps, when I planned today's route on my laptop, it said I'd be doing 16.2 miles. Now we've just had that little bit of a diversion. It zigzagged up there a little bit, but we've generally been going in the same direction as the Great Glen Way. And I reckon it added a couple of 100 yards onto the route. Now, according to my OS Maps app, I'm now at the 16.2 mile point, so I should be at Laggan Locks, and I'm quite obviously not. Looking on the map, I reckon I've got another 2 or 3 miles to go. I've no idea what's going on with OS Maps. It's something that I'm going to have to look into. So we're now at the 17-mile point. Laggan Locks, are you there? No reply. It's a long way to Laggan Locks. It's a long way to go. It's a long way to Laggan Locks, to the sweetest girl I know. Well, actually, I don't think I know any sweet girls. Oops, I'll probably get in trouble for that. Anyway, we're now at 18 miles. Laggan Locks, are you there? No reply. Sorry about that a little bit earlier. I think the sun's getting to me today. Anyway, it looks like we're finally getting to the end of Loch Lockie. So somewhere down there is Laggan Locks. It don't look very far, but I bet it's still over a mile and a half, something like that. So we're now at 19 miles. Laggan Locks, are you there? Yes, we are. Hey. Well, that's good news, we've got to Laggan Locks. However, there aren't any B&Bs or anything like that around here. I've got about another half to a mile along the A82 to the guest house that I'm stopping at tonight. Yeah, we've made it to Laggan Locks eventually. I'm just going to wrap this video up, just heading up towards the main A82. I've got to walk along there for about half a mile. It's going to be very busy and very noisy, so I thought I'd just do this before we got there. Today it's been an absolutely glorious day. At parts there was a nice cool breeze, other parts there wasn't, so it's been very warm, no midges, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. The only thing that's miffed me off is this OS map stuff. As I say, when I originally planned the route on my laptop, and it was to the Forest Lodge guest house where I'm staying tonight, not just Laggan Locks, it said 16.2 miles. Now, by the time I get there, I'll have done nearly 20 miles. So is this going to be happening all week? I don't know. Now, if it is going to be happening all week, it means that I'm going to be doing a lot more mileage than I anticipated. I'm tending to think the app is more accurate, purely and simply because they've got you on GPS all the time, so they know exactly where you are, how far you've gone. But I don't know. Anyway, tonight I'm going to be having some refreshments, hopefully, and sustenance at the Eagle Barge Inn, which is just here at Laggan Locks. It is a floating boat, bar cum restaurant. And the only thing I think left to do today is to give you a quick look at the accommodation I'm stopping at. Well, that was scary. Coming along this main road, the A82, there's no footpath. You've got a grass verge of sorts, which at best is about 2 foot wide, and at worst doesn't actually exist. You've got vehicles flying past you at 60 miles an hour, but I think I've made it, and that's the place we're stopping at tonight. So let's take a look at the room. So this is my room. All in the is a pot of water, tea and coffee. Wardrobe there. Absolutely fantastic view out of the window. Some neighbours. Nice big double bed. And ensuite bathroom. Toilet. And shower. Very good. Also finding when you get into the room, we have some forms. Got one welcoming you and giving you the Wi-Fi password. And then got a list of do an honesty box. can do all sorts of stuff here. Just leave your money and tell you what you want. Got order form for breakfast, and they do a packed lunch if you want it. £8 for packed lunch, and you pick all the stuff that you want on there. And then, surprisingly, officially smashed it. They've teamed up with that, and you can get some officially smashed it gear here. Now, I am a member of the officially smashed it hiking club. You can find them on YouTube and Facebook, etc. In fact, no, it's just Facebook. Run by Kerry Maskell, a lovely lady. So that's my room tonight. The two ladies that run this kindly said that they're going to run me down to the Eagle Barge so I can have some sustenance and refreshments in about a couple of hours, and then they'll pick me up once I've done. Very, very nice of them.